YouTubers, welcome back for another adventure. So we got this thing started running, OEM ignition, all that kind of stuff. We actually even got it out for a ride, but there was a problem because the chain was skipping. So what I'd like to do is give that a look, and also the auto clutch was too loose. So when you go to shift, it was banging the gears. I want to take a look at both of these, see if we can't make them work a little better. It helps me figure out what in the long run we're going to do with it. So first, the chain. We're going to fix the chain by putting in something known as a half link. So this right here is a half link. See, it has the round roller thing, but yet you could put it together. And it takes, I don't know, maybe a ½ inch out of the chain. It shortens it up enough. And in the case of the chain that all-terrain vehicle is currently using, I think that'll be enough to make it stop slapping about. Now, the chain is on the front sprocket properly. The front sprocket is just as good as new. I compared it against the new one. So there's not a problem there. The chain that I put on there is in really pretty good shape. It's a bit loose on the rear sprocket, but I think if I could get it to the right length, we'll be okay. The hardware to adjust the axle forward and back is seized, so I gotta kind of do everything with chain adjustment. Now when they put this together, I don't know if you guys could see that, they welded this on. So I got to do a little surgery on this thing with the angle grinder to get it all taken apart. When I was a kid, my father used to say that I did some of my best work with a hammer. I think I've upgraded. I do some of my best work with a grinder now. So here is the half link in all its glory. Now the way this works is, you could see, that would grab right onto a length of chain, right? And then you have the master link on this side. So it's kind of a two-piece situation. And what you're getting rid of is just half of one of these things, about a ½ inch. So as you can see, the chain's on it. I mean, is it great? No. It might be slightly tight, but we'll take it easy for a lap or two, see if it becomes reasonable, and then that should be good for now. I really want to get a ride out of this thing, find out the rest about it, like really what kind of shape is the automatic clutch in and so forth. And speaking of the automatic clutch, you guys could see I spun out the retaining bolt, and then remember, facing it, you turn it counterclockwise until it tightens up. And I just want to show you, see how there's play? That's play in the linkage, and you guys could see as I turn it counterclockwise, right? Now there's no more play. So you want to leave just a little bit in there, right? And then tighten up retaining bolt, and life is good. Alright, I just got to tighten that a little more, and it should be ready to go. The title of this video really should be Bringing a Cheap All-Terrain Cycle Back on the Cheap. I paid $300 for this. I put a used chain on it. The sprockets and chain I bought for it didn't fit. We fixed the OEM ignition system. It's still on the same gas tank. All I did was put a carburetor on it. So I got about $310. If I would have bought the carburetor from eBay, call it $3 1/4, invested in this thing. Put some air in the tires, and it's ready to go, I hope. This is a cold start. Choke on. Engine on. Let's see how she does. It's going to be 2 hands, but she'll be running in no time. Okay, here we have it. She's running. doing a little clicky thing back there. It's a little tight, but hopefully it behaves. A little disappointed the clutch didn't release. Now, the nice thing about these hardtails is you could kind of ride the heck out of them. I blew my muffler off. He's going to give me a phone call from the neighbor. daily rider. Fixing that muffler and get me a little closer to that. Also, getting that automatic clutch to work would get me closer to that. But it started without a jump pack. It's running on its own ignition. Turns off on its own ignition. I don't know. I think I got it most of the way there. So I would consider this about the cheapest you're going to find one of these, and you're at three and a quarter. I'm at 3 1/4. Wow, look how this is bent. This thing was just, even this is bent downward. This poor thing, they just ran it till it was just rough. But it's alive, it's running, it's moving, and doesn't sound half bad. So I guess I'm gonna say I'm happy with it. I gotta find the sprocket, the center bore on a 200S sprocket, and the pitch of the bolts. The bolts are out too far, and the center bore of the sprocket is too big on a 200S, a TRX 200SX, and a 200X. I also looked at some of the ATC 200s, if you guys remember the ATC 200. It was kind of a big machine, right? 25, 12, 9 tires. It was kind of, back to the balloony, but just kind of a big machine. So what I might have to do is find a sprocket for like a go-kart or something, just a flat sprocket. Or I'm going to have to take one of those that the bore is too big on, try to get it with a few extra teeth to make it a little bigger round, and then just kind of weld it to the old sprocket, right? That would work. I don't think the 1/4 inch offset would hurt me. So, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to have to do. Either that or I'm going to have to smash a 200S rear end in this thing, or take some of the collars off a 200X rear that would go on these. I hate working on rear axles. It's just a crazy amount of work. A lot of things get broken. One ends up taking like 3 of them apart to create one. So I'm not in love with that. Sounds like a good job for the basement. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I need you all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I need you all to get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.